In January 2009, a passenger jet lost both engines over New York City. 2 minutes after takeoff, it had struck a flock of geese. An Airbus with 155 people was gliding silently over the city. Air traffic control offered options: return to LaGuardia, divert to Teterboro. Captain Sullenberger chose neither. 3 minutes later, the plane was floating on the Hudson. Everyone survived. We remember it as courage and extraordinary flying. Both are true, but they miss the most important part. The defining moment was not landing on the river. It was deciding to abandon the airports. Years later, investigators recreated the event in flight simulators. And many of the simulated pilots made it safely back to LaGuardia. At first, it looked like the Hudson landing had been unnecessary. Then someone noticed a flaw. The simulator pilots knew instantly that both engines were gone. No confusion, no disbelief, no time lost figuring it out. They simply started solving the problem. Real life never works like that. Sullenberger first had to recognize the emergency. Understand it. Talk to his first officer, weigh fast-changing information, and reject option after option before deciding. So, investigators added just 35 seconds of human reaction time. And almost every plane trying to reach a runway crashed short. The aircraft was not saved by superior calculation. It was saved by superior judgment. That matters because we are entering an age where calculation is almost free. For most of history, we rewarded people for what they knew. Managers memorized processes and became valuable for the knowledge they held. Information was scarce. Finding the answer was the hard part. Artificial intelligence changed that relationship forever. Today, anyone can ask AI to analyze results, draft a plan, or explain a subject. And it only gets better. The cost of information is falling towards zero. So many people assume experience is becoming less valuable. The opposite is happening. Experience is not valuable because it stores answers. It is valuable because it builds judgment. Knowledge tells us what happened. Judgment decides what should happen next. That small distinction is the line between expertise and leadership. Picture a team deciding whether to delay an important launch. Engineering wants another month to improve quality. Marketing has already promised customers. Finance is worried about the quarter. Sales fears competitors will pounce. Every department brings evidence. Every argument is convincing. An AI can organize it all beautifully. It can find risks, estimate costs, even recommend an outcome. But eventually, someone has to decide. Should the launch proceed? There is no formula for that question. Whatever you choose will disappoint someone. Success or failure will only be obvious in hindsight. That is judgment. One great myth of management: that leaders are promoted because they know more. In truth, they are promoted to decide when nobody knows enough. Early in our careers, we solve problems. Later, we decide which problems even deserve attention. Eventually, we balance priorities that cannot all be satisfied. Speed against quality, innovation against stability, growth against resilience. None of it can be handed entirely to analysis. Data informs decisions. It never makes them. Judgment itself is widely misunderstood. It is not intuition alone. Intuition is pattern recognition, below awareness, powerful, but sometimes dangerously wrong. And it is not the same as confidence. Some of history's worst decisions came from people overflowing with it. Judgment is comfortable admitting uncertainty. The strongest leaders rarely say, "I know." More often, they say, "Given everything we know today, this is the best decision." That is humility without weakness. Judgment is built slowly. Every hard conversation, failed project, and missed opportunity leaves a mark. Not just experience, but a sharper model of how the world really works. The crucial step is reflection. Experience alone teaches very little. Repeated without reflection, it simply repeats mistakes. Reflection turns events into wisdom. Why did I believe that? Which assumptions were wrong? What did I ignore? Managers who ask become better judges of people, priorities, and risk. Those who do not simply accumulate years. This is why some leaders seem strangely calm under uncertainty. Their calm does not come from certainty. It comes from knowing that uncertainty is normal. Waiting for perfect information is itself a decision, usually the wrong one. I makes this distinction even more important. Imagine two managers with identical AI tools. The same analysis, the same recommendations. One asks, which option scores highest? The other asks, what assumptions is this built on? What if they are wrong? Which risks never show up in the data? Which choice reflects who we really are? The first manager uses AI. The second exercises judgment. Technology will keep closing the gap in technical skill. It will not close the gap in wisdom at the same pace. And that is encouraging, because wisdom has always been deeply human. It grows through responsibility, consequences, and reflection. It cannot be downloaded. It cannot be copied from someone else's prompt. And judgment is not reserved for exceptional leaders. Like any real skill, it can be built on purpose. Read widely, study history, seek out opposing views. Make decisions, own the outcomes, reflect honestly, then repeat for decades. Over time, the world does not become simpler. You simply become better at navigating complexity. Soon, organizations will automate much of management. Reports, meeting notes, project plans, dashboards, all will write themselves. None of that reduces the need for judgment. It increases it. When everyone has the same information, advantage comes from deciding what matters. Judgment is not merely another management skill. It is the one skill whose value rises as AI improves. The future will not belong to the managers who know the most. It will belong to those who make the best call when no one can be certain. You don't have to build that judgment alone. Come continue the conversation at Better Managers Club. Start your free trial at bettermanagers.club.